Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Soulja Talk the podcast. I'm your host, Staff Sergeant McPherson, and on this show we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Okay, so today, you guys, we're gonna be talking about Fort Liberty, North Carolina. Uh, Make sure you guys stay tuned to this video. Okay, you guys. So, like I was saying, so first of all, make sure you guys, before we get started, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. If you're liking the content, make sure you let me know. Uh, you guys got any suggestions for future episodes? You can email me at this email down below. So you can email me at this email down there. Uh, so it's Podtober day 4. I mean, no, it's Podtober day 5. My bad. It's Podtober day 5. Um, yeah. So we're gonna get right into it. So Fort Liberty, North Carolina. So we're gonna talk about Fort Liberty. So Fort Liberty, formerly known as Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Uh, it's not a bad duty station. It's not bad. I have heard people who left certain duty stations and said Bragg was better. To me, I'm not gonna say nothing. I ain't got nothing negative to say about Fort Liberty. I don't have nothing negative to say about Fort Liberty. Uh, but just a little history about Fort Liberty. It was named Fort Bragg after what his name? His name was Braxton Bragg, which was he was a West Point graduate. Hold on. He was a West Point graduate. I just had it pulled up, but yeah, it was named after a West Point graduate who fought in the Confederate War. Uh, he fought for the Confederacy during the American Civil War. Uh, so I got to Fort Liberty 2021, April 2021. I had orders from Fort Riley to there, and I was supposed to be like a supply NCO at a SATMO unit, basically like a tenant unit at Fort Liberty. Uh, I got here. My first impression of Fort Liberty was like, it was different. I was happy to be down south again. Fort Liberty is in North Carolina, so it's close to home to where I'm at. It's like 5 hours away from where I'm actually from. So I was excited to get back to like some normal to the type of weather that I'm used to. So the weather is good. Like I love the weather in Fort. While I was stationed in Fort Liberty, I loved the weather. It didn't get too cold, didn't get too hot. I mean, you get all 4 seasons at Fort Liberty. You get all 4 seasons. Uh, like I was saying, so I got to Fort Liberty. I went to ALC from Fort Liberty shortly after I got there. You know, uh, I was so once I graduated from ALC, I came back to the unit that I was at, which was SATMO, the unit, and I had orders to 44th Med. So 44th Med is a brigade at Fort Liberty. Uh, I was there for most of my time. When I got to Fort Liberty, when I got to 44 Med, I was working at the S4. I was working at Battalion S4 uh, as a property book NCO. So as a 92 Yankee. So uh when I got 44 mid actually is not a good, it's not a bad place to be. So shortly after that, I got promoted to E6 while at 44 Medical Brigade. Uh had had a good NCO, had a good OIC. They helped me out with a lot. Uh and yeah, so then shortly after that, they moved me around. Uh I went to the HAC, which was 44 Med HAC. I worked there as a supply sergeant through the rest of my time while I was at Bragg. I mean, while I was at Liberty. So, so yeah, so like I was saying, it's not a bad duty station. It depends on where you at. Fort Liberty is the home of the 82nd Airborne Division, 18 Airborne Corps. It's a lot of units there at Fort Liberty. Just to name off a couple: the 16th Military Police Brigade, uh, 44th Medical Brigade, 50th Expeditionary Signal Battalion, uh 18th Field Artillery Brigade. So it's a lot of different units there at Liberty. So, and those some of the tenant units that I called off. So, Fort Liberty, formerly known when it was first established in 1918 as Camp Bragg, uh, there was a part of World War One, World War Two, the Cold War, and some more different wars, some Middle East wars. So it's a lot of history there at Fort Liberty. If you go, you should check out some of the things that they have like in town right there, because right outside of the gate of Fort Liberty is Fayetteville, North Carolina. So it's a lot of history there in Fayetteville as well when it comes to slavery days. Uh, Also when it's dealing with the U.S. military, so they have a museum there. 82nd, I want to say it's 82nd Airborne Museum. Y'all should definitely go check it out. They got one on post and they got one off post. But the one on post, you definitely should check that out. I got a video. Actually got a video of the one on post where Chief took me on the tour, showed me all the different histories, Fort Liberty, back when he was in. Like this was a long time ago. You know, just a lot of history with Fort Liberty and the 82nd Airborne Division. Uh, if you get a chance to go to Fort Liberty, I suggest you would go. It's surrounded by a lot of dope cities. You got Charlotte, you got Myrtle Beach, you got Fayetteville. That's not a bad city at all. Uh, you right there in the middle of, you know, the Carolinas. So I suggest you, if you get a chance to go to Fort Liberty, I suggest you go get the experience, actually be a part of history. And it's not a bad place to be. So that was this video about, guys, basically telling you, you know what I'm saying, my experience while at Fort Liberty. I got to Fort Liberty, and I started my podcast at Fort Liberty. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's stands out to me. I started my podcast at Fort Liberty. So just so you guys know, I wrote 2 books at Fort Liberty. I wish I had a copy of it, but uh I wrote 2 books while at Fort Liberty. Uh and I talk about it inside my book. So yeah, man, you guys should go. You know, that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about that. This has been another episode of Soulja Talk the Podcast, and I'll see you guys in formation.